Good afternoon, students. In the last few weeks, we have been seeing different processes that occur in the interior of the earth and on the surface of the earth. The movements that occur on the surface of the earth are called as exogenetic movements, whereas the movements that occur inside the earth's surface, they are referred to as endogenetic movements. Today we move on to lesson 3, exogenetic processes, part 1. Last week we had also seen with reference to this lesson the different types of exogenetic processes, which are weathering, then mass movement and erosion. We have also seen what is weathering. What is weathering? Weathering is nothing but breaking or weakening of rocks. It is called as weathering. This weathering is brought about in three ways. One is mechanical weathering, second is chemical weathering, and third is biological weathering. We have seen what is mechanical weathering in the last week and the factors that bring about this mechanical weathering. Today we begin with chemical weathering. Now, before we start with chemical weathering, let us know what is chemical weathering. So, chemical weathering is the weathering that occurs through chemical reactions. This weathering happens in the regions of humid climates. Major processes include carbonation, solution, oxidation, etc. In equatorial areas, chemical weathering happens to a considerable depth. So, chemical weathering, page number 26. Try this. Here they have asked you to perform an experiment in which you have to take a glass filled with water. To this you have to add a piece of chalk, of 2 or 3 pieces of chalk, and you have to observe. Did the color of the water change? Yes, of course the color of the water changes. What happened to the chalk? The chalk has dissolved in water. Second experiment they have given, wrap a few iron nails in a wet cloth, open the cloth after 2 days, observe what happens and answer the following questions. Are there any stains on the cloth? Yes, of course there are stains on the cloth. Which color are they? They are brownish or reddish in color. What could be the reason for the stains? The reason is rusting. Now, geographical explanations of the experiments that we have performed with reference to geography. Water plays an important role in chemical weathering. Rock is a mixture of many minerals. Water is said to be a universal solvent. Now, what is universal solvent? That we must know. We have been studying this for many years, that a solvent in which many soluble materials can get dissolved is called as universal solvent. As water can dissolve number of materials, it is known as universal solvent. So, that is the role of water in chemical weathering. Many things get dissolved easily in water. The solubility increases because the matter has dissolved in water. And those materials which do not dissolve easily in water get dissolved in such solutions. In areas that receive heavy rainfall, chemical weathering occurs in the following way. First is carbonation. Now, what do you mean by carbonation? The word itself should tell you that it is something related to carbon. Yes, the rainwater travels through the atmosphere before reaching the ground. Carbon dioxide in the air gets mixed in the water in this process. And carbon dioxide in the air gets mixed in the water in this process. As a result, dilute carbonic acid is formed. Materials like limestone gets easily dissolved in such acids. So, what is carbonation? Water plus carbon dioxide, that is H2O, plus CO2 gives H2CO3, that is carbonic acid. Second, how chemical weathering occurs? It is by solutions. Now, in this solution, one very important word is there, and whose meaning you must know. That word is precipitation. Which is that word, children? It is precipitation. So, what is precipitation? Precipitation in chemistry, it means solidification of a previously dissolved substance from a solution. Through chemical weathering processes like carbonation and solution, alkalis in the rock get carried away with water in soluble form. When water evaporates, these alkalis accumulate at a place in solid form. When this happens, it is said that alkalis have been precipitated. The stalactites and the stalagmites formed in limestone landscape are the result or are due to precipitation. So, moving on to the next point of how chemical weathering is brought about is solution. Some minerals in the rock get dissolved in water. Limestone is formed due to chemical precipitation between water and alkali. I have already told you what is precipitation. The Darya in Ahmednagar district, at Vadgaon Darya in Ahmednagar district, limestone gets precipitated chemically. That is, it undergoes chemical weathering again. Because of the solution, alkalis in the rock dissolve and make them brittle. Brittle means which can be broken easily, or that which breaks easily. Over to third reason, and that is oxidation. Oxidation. This process occurs in rocks which have iron present in them. The iron in the rock comes in contact with water, as we have seen in the experiment, and chemical reaction takes place between iron and the oxygen. Hence, a reddish colored layer forms on the rocks, as we have seen on the cloth. This is called rust. When you kept nails in the wet cloth, you must have noticed a similar thing. Similar process occurs in rocks in areas with high rainfall. See figure 3.1d. Chemical weathering, the topmost figure. There are many more processes involved in chemical weathering besides the ones mentioned above. From our day-to-day life, moistening of the table salt in the rainy season. You might have noticed that the table salt which is kept out in the rainy season due to increase in moisture content, the salt becomes wet. Apple slices turning brown, or potatoes which are cut changing their color, all these are examples from our day-to-day life. Third type of weathering which we are going to study is biological weathering. Besides mechanical and chemical weathering, biological factors are also responsible for weathering of rocks. That means mechanical weathering takes place, chemical weathering also takes place, but at some places you will find that there is biological weathering. What is this biological weathering? Biological, as the name itself suggests, that living organisms bring about weathering. In the last two types of weathering, we have seen that they are all non-living things, whether it is precipitation, carbonation, or whether mechanical weathering. Everywhere the non-living things bring about the weathering. But in biological weathering, living organisms, it can be animals, they can be trees, that is the flora and fauna, have the capacity to bring about the weathering. Many a times you might have seen that near a fort there are trees growing in the cracks. Over a period of time, these trees start growing and the roots move down into the walls of the fort. As a result, a crack develops. Later on, this crack widens and the piece may get separated if not taken proper care. So, this breaking is brought about by the roots of the trees. Hence, this type of weathering or this type of breaking is called as biological weathering. As the roots grow bigger, they create tension in the rocks and start breaking them. See the figure. Ants make large ant hills. Rats, mice, rabbits and other worms and insects make burrows in the ground. These animals are called burrowing animals. Because of their activity, weathering of rock occurs. How? Because they dig the ground, they loosen the soil, and as a result, the weathering is brought about. Because of their activity, weathering of rock occurs. Besides these, algae, moss, lichen, 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 and other flora grow in the rocks. Children, it is for your general information that wherever there is bare rock, the first formed organisms are always the lichens. They also help in weathering. It is not an overnight process, it is a very slow and a steady process. But yes, slow and steady wins the race. We know that. So in the same way, though it is a slow process, it will bring about weathering over a period of time. Thank you. That's all for chemical weathering.